everyone, it's Pixie Pal ASMR here, and I know it's been a hot second. It's always a hot second with my videos. I get carried away and I genuinely don't have a lot of quiet in my house, so it's a little bit hard to make videos, but it's kind of a quiet evening, and I had a fun little idea that didn't take too long to do. I'm sure you can hear the little bugs outside, the crickets, or those the bugs that make that really annoying sound. But anyway, I digress. Tonight, I thought I would do a video about playbills, specifically of the plays that I've seen and or been in. That's kind of a fun one. So anyway, I keep my playbills in this beautiful little antique or vintage wooden box with this really pretty scene on it, and it has a lock, but the lock does not work, so it's kind of useless. But anyway, I am going to open this up and show you what is inside. It even has the cutest little mirror. It's so pretty. I love it. It's got this beautiful little painted part of it. It's so romantic. I think this is a great little jewelry box, or for letters. I'm probably one day going to switch out what I keep in here, because honestly, playbills are just getting to be too big to put in here. I've gotten a lot. I only have like maybe 9 playbills, and it's almost full. So the first thing that I have is cast letters from the different shows that I've been in. I haven't been in that many shows. I've been in, 2 shows, and I'm hoping to be in a third in 6 months, because the local theater that I go to a lot to both perform in, but also to just to go to support and enjoy, they're putting on Music Man, and I'm really excited, because even though there's not really a character in there that I fit, that would fit my vocal range, but also fit like my age, I'm probably going to be put in ensemble, but that's okay, because it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be something that I enjoy and that I get to experience. And that's, something that I've learned about theater roles, is that it doesn't matter how big or small the role is, it's about what you do with it after. So anyway, these are my cast letters. They're very cute. I'm not going to show you any of the letters because a lot of them have my actual name on them, and I do want to keep my identity a secret, not because I'm ashamed of who I am, but simply because I want to have privacy. I don't want to have to feel like I have to hide all the time. I don't want to feel insecure. I don't want to feel unsafe. So for that sake, I also covered up the locations of the playbills, because some of them will say, where it is, and especially if it's really close. If it's not that close to me, I don't mind putting it on there, but if it's close, I'm not gonna risk it. Let me just put that right up there right now, which is why I covered them up. Now my first playbill is Much Ado About Nothing. I have not been in Much Ado About Nothing, but people that I know have been in Much Ado About Nothing, and it was good. It was really good. The costumes were beautiful, the sets were superb, I think the storyline is really interesting, because even though it was Shakespeare, they did it in kind of a modernized, almost 20s background, to where you didn't feel so out of place, but it also felt kind of fairy tale almost. It was really nice. I thought the people that were in it did an exceptional job. So that's all I have to say about that one. But yeah, that's the playbill. And let's see if there's anything in here that I can read. I could also like read the summaries, but I don't want this video to be really, really long. I just want it to be a nice, quiet little video. So anyway, my next playbill. Oh, almost dropped them. Is Cinderella. Cinderella was beautiful. I saw this at a not very local one, but it was still close enough. Yeah, Cinderella is beautiful. The cast did wonderfully. I thought the costumes were beautiful, and I really liked what they did with it all. I thought they did excellent at capturing the essence of Cinderella without making it just a carbon copy of the ones that we've seen. I thought it was very intelligently done. I thought the people playing the parts did them really well, and that's all I have to say. You know, these are all local theaters. I am all for supporting local theaters because local theaters provide a service. They provide a chance for young kids to achieve their dreams, or adults that have always wanted to perform in theater but didn't get to. They provide art and culture to whatever town or city that they're in. It provides revenue for different causes, and I think that's really admirable. And I think that theater, you know, local theater should absolutely be supported. It needs to be supported. So my advice to everybody is go find your local theater. Find out what they're doing. You might actually really like what they're doing. I didn't know about our local theater until like recently, like a couple of years ago. So I'm really happy that I found our local theater. But anyway, my next production that I'm going to talk about is Fools by Neil Simon. This production is exactly how it sounds, but it is about a town in, like, was it Stockholm or Russia? It was a made-up town called Kolyachkov, and it is about a young school teacher who is set on a task to help a young woman learn, be intelligent, and in the process he learns about this curse, but he also falls in love with the girl. This show was written a long time ago, and the standards that we see in it are reflective of that time, but it was still a very enjoyable show. And if you look at old things from modern perspectives, you will always find things wrong with it. But if you look at things just from okay, I'm not going to imitate this, but I can enjoy this and learn from other people's mistakes, then there's room for growth there. And I think that's beautiful. But yeah, anyway, I was in this production. Let me see if I can find where I'm at. There I am. And I was also, not only was I a townsperson, I was a costume designer for the show. So, meaning that I did a lot of, meaning that I did all the costumes for this show, which I loved how they turned out. I can't say that they were like revolutionary or anything, but they were beautiful costumes. And they made me feel it made me feel really empowered that I did that, especially since when I first started it, I was not very, I wasn't very experienced. So it was a great experience for me to learn how to do a new skill, and it taught me something. It taught me how to have grit, and it taught me how to do all that and be strong and not be afraid to learn a new skill just because I don't know how to do something. You never know what you will learn when you take a chance to learn it. But yeah, I loved doing Fools. It was fun. After I did the show, I was so tired. I was glad it was over. But it was fun, and it gave me a chance to experience acting a little bit. I've only ever done ensemble roles. Hopefully I can get a speaking part. I would love a speaking part. I would love a singing part. I love to sing, and I'm better at singing than I am in acting, actually. So yeah. Anyway, my next production is Anastasia. And this show was so good. Oh my gosh, this show was good. This show was just, it's one of those shows where, like, the theater company that did this did really well. They always do well. It's like a well-known theater company in our area. So, you know, I personally really enjoyed it. The girl who played Anastasia was wonderful. The guy who played Dimitri was actually not even an understudy. He was an understudy of the understudy, and he had to learn his lines quick because everybody was getting sick around that time. I remember it precisely. They were also doing a production of Grace, which I did not get to see because it was very popular. And they were doing a production of Grace, and a lot of people were sick. They had to actually cancel 2 performances, and they also had to, but they added 2 performances later on. So, yeah. But yeah. The book of Anastasia is written by Terrence McNally, music by Stephen Flaherty, and lyrics by Lynn Ahrens. Great show. I loved it. I love Anastasia. It's one of my favorite shows. Oh, this next one is a treat. This next one I think is the best show I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was by high schoolers. Let that sink in. High schoolers did Les Mis, and they crushed it. Let me tell you something. They did so well. It's like, so the ticket prices were $25, which we thought, oh, that's steep. That's kind of high for a high school production. But after we watched it, we're like, okay, that was worth it. I would watch it again. Like, if they had tickets available, I would get them now and watch it again. I would stick around. And oh my gosh, this show was so well acted. they used every ounce of space that they could on that stage and in the audience. They did very well with the songs. Like, they brought both myself and my brother, who comes with me to watch shows a lot, to tears. And we don't cry very easily at community productions. We don't cry very easily, so we were very impressed. This was just so well done. Like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. Like, I am so serious. Everyone did so spectacularly. And they made it so... It was so thoughtful. And it was great. Oh my god, it was amazing. I wish I could find a bootleg of that performance from that show, because I would watch it. I would pay for it. I almost want to ask the Cookville High School if I could have a bootleg of it, because that was wonderful. I would pay for it. I do love this show. On the back of it. This quote is one of my favorites. To love another person is to see the face of God. And that was a Victor Hugo quote. And I think it's so true and powerful. And I think it's a beautiful thing to keep close to our hearts and our lives, is that we can love people, and we'll know that it means something. And I think that's powerful, you know? Okay, so this playbill is one of the most unique playbills I've ever seen in my life. And it's for Newsies. It's a newspaper. It's a newspaper. Oh my god, it's a newspaper. It's above the fold. If you know, you know. But anyway, this production of Newsies was really good. It wasn't the best show that I'd ever seen in my life by any means, but it was really good because it was really good, and it was by Tusculum University, which is actually very competitive with their theater program. So you know this show had high expectations, and it did not disappoint. The show had so much, it was fascinating when it came to their, they were great with their sets. Their costumes were okay. I thought they could have been a little bit better in some places, such as like Miss Meta's costume. But I mean, and some of their wigs were kind of iffy, but it's a school production, so you can't necessarily expect it to have Broadway-worthy costumes and special effects that are Broadway-worthy. You can't, and that's okay. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was very neat the way that they did their playbills. They did a newspaper, which was just amazing and very fitting. Anyway, I'll let y'all see it again. It's done by this, and it did have actual like the full playbill is a newspaper. So it was just really cool. But anyway, I thought it was amazing, and I did enjoy seeing this show, and it was very special because I got to see it with my like best best friend in the world who just loves Newsies as much as I do, so it really meant something. Yeah. My next one is The Sound of Music. And this is not one that I saw, it was one that I was in. So, I was in The Sound of Music. This was my first production ever. I was 20. Yeah, I was 20, 21. I was 21 actually. But, yeah, this production was just amazing. And it was such a labor of love. I feel so privileged that I've gotten to be able to be in this, because this was such an amazing, heartfelt show that I feel so privileged. So I played the maid named Ursula. She's not a character that you hear often. She is, because they never say her name, she is used as a way to introduce the audience to Frau Schrader. Let me see if I can find. Here's my script. This was my script. This was cool, and I will always remember this. This script is like, I hold it close to my heart. I hold it close to my heart because this is where I first learned to act. And honestly, anytime that I need to practice a script, I would take it from The Sound of Music because it was good. But yeah, I was in The Sound of Music as my first performance. I would love to be able to talk more about some of the performances that I've seen and done. I would have to, I don't know, I feel like I'd have to have more stories. You know, I might talk about performances after performing in Music Man if I get the part. I will be practicing night and day for that because I want to get a role that I truly feel like I can be proud to have, you know? So anyway, my next playbill is Oliver. This show was really good. We were saying to, my friends and I were saying as we were watching the show that the Oliver character was okay, but we felt like Oliver was more of the setting than the character, and we would have loved to have seen more of that. But the important thing is that really and truly, they were doing what they wanted to do, and you know what, it was a kid, and kids are not perfect, and you know what, you shouldn't feel like they have to be, because they were great. They were really great. Yeah. Ooh, this one was a doozy. They Promised Her the Moon. So this is about a girl that was wanting to go into space. I'll read the summary. The first American woman to test for space flight, Jerry Cobb, steps into an isolation tank for a record-breaking 9 hours as her memories unfold before her. From learning to fly a plane as a child in Oklahoma to testifying in congressional hearings about the under-the-radar, all-female Mercury 13 space program. They Promised Her the Moon follows the true story of Jerry Cobb as she fights for her dreams and the future of female pilots and astronauts. So, in theory, the story sounded like it could be interesting, but I feel like, and no disrespect to the author, maybe it was just the way it was performed, it just didn't translate very well to stage. And that could have very well been how it was performed. Because, performances, depending on how it happens. And it's okay. And the great thing about this show is that it was the first show that I had seen from, like, the college, where I perform at sometimes now. And I owe so much gratitude to it for that, because I've learned so much. And I could never replace that. Oh, and this is one of my favorite shows coming up, Little Shop of Horrors. This show was really good. This was so well performed. So well performed. And I think I would love to perform in this myself, as well as in like shows like Anastasia and Cinderella. I would love to be in those. Those are like dream roles. I would love to be Audrey. Audrey is such a fun role, and she's such a fascinating, endearing character. And I wish that I had more of those opportunities to be able to perform that, because that would be cool. That would be really cool. But yeah, Little Shop of Horrors is about a plant and a flower shop that feeds on people. And the lead is Seymour Krelborn, and the female lead is named Audrey, and she's adorable. She's really funny too. But yeah, that is the end. That is the end of my Playbills. Now I just have a box. But anyway, I am going to put all of these back, and then we will conclude. So, first comes first. This one goes back in there first. They promised her the moon. Oliver's cute little face. The Sound of Music and the script, which I usually actually keep the script at the bottom of my box. Music. Awesome show. Anastasia. One of my favorites. That was actually one of my favorites. Fools. Decent show. Glad to have been in it. Cinderella. I think this one sounds the best, don't you? And Much Ado About Nothing. And now, cast letters. It doesn't entirely close. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with me. If you've watched all of this or fallen asleep, I thank you so much. I feel privileged, and I hope that we can talk in the future. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful night's sleep.